Right, so here's how you set up ReWire within Cubase, and I'm also going to show you how to amalgamate mono channels into stereo channels so that you can just treat it as one track instead of two separate tracks, which is it gets a bit cluttered. So here all I've got is a blank Cubase project, and I've got a project in Reason which is set up in ReWire slave mode. So what you want to do is go to Devices and Reason ReWire, and to determine how many channels you need, you can just count the amount of tracks you've got here, which is 7. 7 stereo tracks means 14 mono tracks, or mono channels. So the first 2 channels conveniently is inherently just a stereo channel. So you've got 2 separate channels here, but they only show up as one track, which is what we want ideally for all the remaining channels, but that's not the case. When I click on these, they show up as mono channels. So I'm going to have the left signal of the instrument coming out of this track and the right signal of the instrument coming out of this track. I'd rather it just be one track as a stereo signal, but we'll get to that. So I'm going to need 14 channels. Alright, so this track here acts as basically channel 1 and 2, then you've got 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. So now I'm just going to route these in within Reason. By default it's on the master route, just going straight into channel 1 and 2, but I'm going to have these connected separately, just using the direct out of each track. You won't be able to hear anything, unfortunately, because I couldn't get my screen capture software to work, but you can see there, 5 and 6 is essentially the same instrument being duplicated. One of them's the left channel, one of them's the right channel, and the way I'm going to amalgamate them is just to use group tracks. If you're using Cubase Pro, you've got 256 available. If you're using Cubase Artist or Elements, you're going to have to be a bit more clever about how you use your group tracks. Conveniently, Cubase 7 Artist 7 has 32 group channels available, which is precisely the exact amount of stereo channels you can use within ReWire anyway. So if you're using Cubase Elements, you're going to have to be a bit more smart. So yeah, I've got 7 tracks here, or 7 different instruments within Reason. So I'm just going to add 7 group channel tracks, and then I'm just going to route each of these into their own group. I don't really need to do it with this first one because it's already a stereo track, but seeing as I'm not limited by the amount of groups that I can use, I might as well just do it for the sake of being OCD. So the way I do that is here. You click on the track that you want to route into a group, and then so for this one I'm going to click group 1, group 2, and then for this one I'm going to choose group 2 as well, then 3. So you're just having 2 tracks go into one group. No. So now when I click play, you can see that that's the left channel, that's the right channel. That's being routed into group 3 as a stereo channel. So what I can do now is just go to Visibility, hide all the ReWire channels. So now I've just got channels 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14 as stereo tracks, and then I can, add inserts to them and they'll work just as you would expect them to work, instead of having to add an insert on you know, the left channel and then the right channel separately, and then you're kind of duplicating the amount of VSTs that you're using, which is inconvenient. So yeah, you've got that. And then I think if you go to the mixer, you can essentially just do the same thing with the mixer. So you've just got 7 stereo tracks instead of like 1 stereo track and the rest being mono. So it's just more organized, and you can rename these as well. And to save time setting this up, you can just click File and then save it as a template. Just save it as, like, here I've already got like a 10 channel one, but this one would be 14 channel. So yeah, hope that helps.